I'd given up full-time work to come and train as a mature student. I knew that there was potentially a bursary or a student loan available, but it's not going to be the same amount as I was earning full-time. So I spent probably 6 or 9 months actually trying to save as much money as I could, knowing that I would have to supplement any bursary or loan, and knowing that with family commitments at home, money was going to be a bit tight. So I did a lot of saving beforehand, and I'm now coming to the end of my 3 years, and it's just about seeing me through the 3 years. There's not a lot of savings left, I have to say, but I've made it. But yeah, it's financially, it's been hard work.
My bursary is only £544 a month. I've got a mortgage to pay, and I'm very lucky that I've got a partner who supports me, and he's really been amazing. He pays all the bills, and I pick up the smaller things. But I would say to anybody who's going into nursing, especially if you're in the same kind of position as me, I've not got any kids, but that doesn't take away any financial commitments that I've got, that you need to be very strict with your finances. It's very hard. £500 does not go a long way at all.
Simple things that we could just cut back on. We didn't have any big outgoings, and I suppose that was one of the reasons, if we go back to when we made the decision I could do it, that was one of the factors, really, that we'd got no major outlays.
I have a young boy, I'm married, a mortgage over my shoulders as well, a lot of financial strains. So therefore I thought I need to save on cost of travelling, I need to be closer to home, so when I can pick up my son from school, I'm able to. My friends were buying second-hand books. I was having to think about it, and I was going to the library more often, borrowing books, bringing them home. So I wasn't purchasing books, so I had to think about it.
I'm quite fortunate in the fact that I worked for the NHS, and so I was able to take advantage of a secondment scheme that runs for some existing NHS staff, whereby you can apply and get funded during your training. Still had to apply for that, still had to go through an interview process locally at the trust, but I'm quite fortunate in the fact that I do have some money coming in.
When I started, I had a part-time job, which I kept all the way up until now, in my 3rd year. The bursary for me was actually a bonus until I got my car, and obviously I had a few more outgoings than before. But I wouldn't say that I had to drop my part-time job or anything. I will do now when I finish, because I'll be working full-time. But for me, it was fine.
I have a part-time job as well. I work on the bank as an auxiliary. I do probably a shift a week. I cope, I never ever think, I really want that and I can't have it. You just have to plan it, you just can't be stupid. I went out last night and I took £10 with me, and it was fine, I had a great time. I don't know, you don't expect to go to university and live the life of luxury, do you? You know that you're going to live on beans for a bit.
What I did was I worked out how much money I could get every day when my room expenses had been paid for. And from that I formulated an account book. So I could see in plain paper how much I can and can't afford to spend. It's not necessarily that I don't necessarily have the money. It's not like taken literally, but it's like you have, I don't know, for sake of argument, £10 extra, which if I got careless for a second would be all right. But it's I've kept it up. It's almost could be quite a religious practice to do it, but it's. I got used to it. It's like to resist some of the finer things in life. I think it's been good.
I think because I haven't got many commitments and stuff, I don't run my own home, and because of my age group and stuff, I haven't got many commitments, so the bursary is doing me just fine.
And the other thing that I have done, in fact, because I was working in nursing before training, I was working as a healthcare assistant, I actually worked some holidays, bank nursing. So I carried on through my training, supplementing that by doing some work in the holidays.
I'm a homeowner. I was going to be in a bursary. So obviously I got concerns about how I was going to get through the course, and obviously I've still got a mortgage to pay. So I spoke to them about it. They appointed me in the direction of the Students' Union. There's also an advice drop in, there's plenty of information. So it all came back to me, so I actually knew then what I was getting myself into.
Every time I've been on placement, I've told them beforehand that I've got a part-time job, and it's only on a Saturday, and I used to negotiate with work as well as my placement, and they were quite good about it because they knew I was starting my nursing course. And they used to let me have time off, which meant I could do my placement. But because we had to do weekends, I could always do a Sunday, so that was fine as well. But the money side of things was fine, really.
Well, as you can tell, I'm a mature student. My husband has supported me, although the bursary isn't a great deal. But it's just other things you've just got to manage, and that is the bigger picture you've got to think about prior to starting the course. And not only that, but I was fortunate enough because the practice placement managers within the trust that I was working in, there was 5 of us seconded students, and they all sat us down and we all had to write down our commitments and could we put them on the back burner or do without them. And they were just really trying to show us what reality is.